YouTube. Here's another video, another mod video. So today we'll be upgrading our front brake calipers, or I mean at this point just talking about them. I'm still gonna have to wait for parts to come in, but these are upgraded brake calipers for front of my Sn95 97 Mustang GT. These are Cobra / Mach 1 calipers, so they're double pistons instead of the one. Because if you ever owned, or if you owned a Sn95 Mustang, you can vouch that the brake sucks. I upgraded to great, not cheap brake pads and rotors just to see if, and I bled the brakes out to see if I could feel a massive difference. To be honest, not really. Maybe by a little bit, but when I say a little bit, like a little bit, I did not feel that big of a difference. So that being said, I want to upgrade, and these are probably the cheapest upgrades you can do, because these basically plug and play, like so. Other than you obviously need the new rotors, because the rotors on the Mach 1s or Cobra are 13-inch instead of like the 11, and also you need the brake pads obviously for it, because it's not the same brake pads. And I'm also going to upgrade the line, the stainless steel brake line, specifically for the Cobra Mach 1, because you need that. With that being said, when I'm doing that, I'm also going to do a ABS billet delete block, because my ABS is, I personally don't need ABS, so I'm going to go ahead and upgrade that. So might as well do the calipers, change the lines, and do that, and bleed the brakes. I think it's just one go. So these two are from Oreilys. These are remanufactured. They're way cheaper than from LMR. The LMR one's like $300-400 just for the calipers. I also like these because this one does not say Cobra. Or I think LMR sell a bare finish one that doesn't say Cobra. I think it's still going to be more expensive because these are still Ford parts. They're just obviously turned in. They remanufacturers. They changed out the seals. I mean, other than that, it's a Ford part. Yeah, but LMR more expensive. Plus these have a core, so these are going to be cheaper. I think if you work there, you get it cheaper. But these are about $200 or so, $200 for both. And then there's a $30 core charge, $36 core charge for both. So it'll even be cheaper. Way cheaper than you get LMR. Other than that, I am going to paint these guys. I'm paint the actual caliper itself red, and the bracket right here I'm going to paint it black. I'm going to put some caliper grease on the seals right here, so then the paint don't attach to them. Other than that, I blocked off the ports for the banjo bolt, and I took off the banjo bolt. I also took off the bleeder. So then wherever they sit, I just took them off, so obviously, I don't get paint into them. I'm going to do the same thing with this, actually, for the bleeder. And obviously, with that being said, I also bought new bleeders and new banjo bolts. So all I'm going to do is hang them up with bungees on a tree and go ahead and paint them. But other than that, I'm going to order the rest. Gonna paint them right now, order the rest of the parts, and when they get here, I'm gonna go ahead and make a video on putting these bad boys on. So I will be right back. So here we are in the process of painting them. You see, I said they made the bracket black and the actual top caliper red. So I just used the box as a stand. I'm just gonna paint the top, not the inside, because I don't see the point in painting the inside because you don't even see them. So I'm just gonna paint the outside. There we go. Like I said, hanged up with a bungee. This one, because I'm only painting the top, I just put it on top. Now the color we're using, or paint we're using duplicate color. Specifically for calipers, enamel with ceramic, black, red, and we're fancy, so we're gonna hit it with some clear coat. Probably give it a good time to dry out, and then we are going to clear coat it. This is probably, I think, the most annoying part for me, just because with painting, you know, you're just kind of waiting for it to dry. So I guess if you have something else to do, it'll be perfect when you paint, because like I said, if not, all you gotta do is stand here and wait. So yeah, we'll be back. Alright guys, this is the finish look over here. As you can see, I'm just letting them dry off completely. There are some things where I think I could have painted better, but in all honesty, I mean, no one's gonna see this when the calipers on the car, you know. All they're gonna see is the actual this side, so as long as this look good, it should be fine. But yeah, I painted it, so right now I'm just letting it dry off, and then I have to go order my other parts to get this on the car, and yeah, I will be back with that. Alright YouTube, it's morning time now, because it's too dark yesterday. Gotta stop, but don't be an idiot like me. Obviously, caliper and the hoses are side specific. Here it is, Cobra rotor and the caliper on the car. The main thing I was struggling with was I was about to complain that this line wasn't fitting, but the thing is I forgot that the hoses are side specific, and also the caliper are obviously side specific, and if you use the hose on the other side, it wouldn't fit in this fitting. It's too small. So obviously I say label anything you're doing, because if you don't, it's gonna be like me. It's gonna be like a mess. So don't be a doofus like me and label which side goes where. Other than that, it has new caliper bolt, new washers and everything, a brand new hose. Attached it, clipped it on already, and we're just gonna do the same thing on the other side, and we'll go ahead and bleed it out. Alright YouTube, on a side note, this hose right here, alright, where the banjo bolt sits, if you put on the caliper and it is leaking, one thing you probably have to do is tighten it some more. Now there's a certain way that you're not supposed to tighten that too much, because you might strip something. But if it is leaking and there's no other way, because that was the only way for me to stop it from leaking, because it was literally leaking from the fittings, from the copper washers and everything. It was just sooting everywhere. It's literally like mashing it, like it just tighten it. Now I'm not saying like go whole crazy, but this, you probably think you tightened it enough. You might have not. Like I said, don't go too crazy. That's the one thing I think I went through, and I was like, oh dude, this thing's leaking and won't stop leaking. I tried to look up how people stopped it from leaking. There was no other way but me to really just tighten it. When I tightened it, I think it crushed the copper washer, made the grooves, it made the seal. Now it's not leaking. So that's one tip. So I'll be back. I gotta bleed all the brakes out. Alright YouTube, so I've been driving the car for about a week with the brake upgrade in the front, and in all honesty, it's so much better than the stock brakes. I think if you're really wanting a cheap upgrade for brake power, I was gonna go on that one, but that one's dark. If you want a cheap upgrade for brake power, I think the Cobra brakes is I think the best way to go. I think I spent less than $300. Yeah, getting all the parts for this. Basically, I would call this upgrade. I got the calipers Oreilys, the hose Oreilys, the stop tech from LMR for like 125 for both, and then the brake pads also are Oreilys. Altogether though, way less than usual. So with that being said, I think if you are really considering doing the upgrade, you really should. Also, if you have a ABS light on, that delete from LMR, other than saving you what, like 11 pounds, it definitely does, your brake pedal does feel less smushy. Because when I had that ABS light on and I had that faulty ABS, I definitely felt a very smushy brake. Now the brakes feels way stronger than before. So like I said again, if you're gonna do it, you can go the cheap way or the more expensive way. Either way, it works out. It feels so much better. So I would really go ahead and try that conversion. It's way cheaper than, a big brake kit. So until next time, YouTube.